June 9th. Okay, I'm live. Thank you. Good evening. Today is June 9th, 6 p.m. 2025, and we are starting the Community Engagement Committee meeting for the Village of Gulf Manor. May I get a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Okay. Ms. Mayo?
That me, here.
Chesser?
Here.
Dr. Fisher?
Here.
Ms. Thomas?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
He let me know he would not be here today. I think he's working late, so I will make a motion to excuse Mr. Thompson. I need a second.
Second.
And without objection, everybody, aye? All
Aye.
All right, thank you. So my apologies for sending out this agenda a wee bit late. Like I get so many updates. So I'm like holding on to it. I was like, all right, I gotta get it out today. So has everybody at least had opportunity to review it? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so a motion to set and adopt the agenda. Did she make the motion? Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
And everybody in favor?
Aye.
Cool. We have no persons registered to address the committee today. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes from the last meeting? And I think she would just cross that
You
out.
can just cross it off. That's
Okay, so there is one thing I'm gonna amend, very insignificant. It looks like there's a C in attachment, but there is no attachment. Did you give him any information, I guess, regarding the postcards? It's next to, okay, no biggie. We'll just cross this line out. And I think that's it. No, he just
It's
wrote.
something I wrote and apparently don't remember what it is.
Well, yeah, so I was like, whatever the attachment
That's
is.
fine. You can just cross it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there was another something I caught. You know, I'm good at catching them. But we'll leave it. So I'll make the first motion to approve the minutes from last meeting as amended. And the second, please. All right, and all in favor? Without objection, that's all unanimous. All right, so it's funny because like last week, I'm reaching out to you two on council, like, what are we going to talk about in this meeting? Like there's, what should we put on the agenda? But as I'm actually like writing the agenda, I have a lot of updates. So I just kind of incorporated the report throughout the agenda, kind of like we did last month, but I'll have you guys read it so everybody doesn't get to hear me read in my lovely yet monotonous voice. So, but first, oh, sorry, this is the last meeting. Let me look at the agenda for this meeting. I'm confused. I'm glad the first few items are always exactly the same. All right, so the Village Business Summer Sessions schedule is in effect starting today for the months of June, July, and August. What this means is that the Community Engagement Committee, the Executive Committee, the Finance Committee, and full council meetings are all on the same days at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 p.m. respectively. So the dates for these meetings are today, June 9th, July 7th, and August 25th. The Recreation Commission they finished their Amazon wish list for field day items. The wish list has been shared publicly in the Go Golf Manor Facebook group for residents to purchase and donate the items to the Recreation Commission. Prices of the items range between $7.68 and $49.99. During their May meeting, the Recreation Commissioners approved to spend up to $300 on these items. There's a typo in there. Whatever items residents do not donate, the commission may purchase not to exceed this $300. So far, at least 4 families have already donated 6 items on the wish list. And I have a link to the Amazon wish list if anybody cares to donate. Already now, because we're pushing up on Juneteenth, I've requested that our fiscal officer purchase a few of those items too. So hopefully we have them by Friday, but there should still be a few up there for maybe like the 4th of July celebration. Let's see, we got updates regarding Pride and Labor Day that I'll have Miss Phyllis present because she's on rec. We get our last postcard update by Dr. Mena. We actually have really good news from Miss Gwen about the little free pantries, and I'll spend the majority of the talking about some app updates. All right, so our We Thrive report from Miss Gwen, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to start with we've done the Ohio State University cooking class that ended on Tuesday, June the 3rd, with 10 people finishing the class, which brings us about $500.
That's nice.
$50 a person. And we'll start the chronic disease self-management classes on July the 10th, and that goes through August the 14th. That'll be on Thursdays from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Classes are free. For everyone that finishes the class in Gulf Manor will receive $50. Registration for the classes can be found on the Gulf Manor Village web.
That's good news. That's good news. Eric, do you mind incorporating that? We got 10 people, so that's another $500 to rec. Can you add that in a minute, please? That's great news.
Absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
Am I still going? Because I'm doing the little pantry now.
No, let me, actually, the way I have it in the agenda,
Okay.
do some new business stuff. That's the Pride Walk and the Labor Day event that I have Ms. Phyllis do. You want to just read this, or you already got the note?
Yeah, so the Pride Walk, we didn't, get in time to walk in the Pride Walk, so therefore, we're gonna meet up downtown on the square. And, that's gonna be at 11:30 on Saturday, June 28th at 11 a.m. And they are selling Pride t-shirts for $22 for adults and $18 for the youth. And they've already sold 3, and I don't
At
know if
least
that's
3,
been
yeah.
updated. Right.
I think it's just 3 for now.
Okay. And then also for the fall, does anybody have any questions about the Pride Walk?
Nope.
So for the fall concert, that is gonna be, Second Wind is gonna be playing, and that's gonna be Sunday, September the 7th. And then more details are gonna be to come in the future, so more to be determined.
Yeah, I don't have any updates. Like, I think they decided that kind of last minute. So, but with that said, the Labor Day cookout, which was originally for September 1, they've canceled that. But just within that same week, they're gonna bring that band back. At least that's the plan as of now. So that should be, it's a Sunday, I think,
Mhm.
September
Say September 7th.
7th. Okay. And actually, Reed was leading that. So you got anything you want to say? Anything else?
No, it's kind of a fluid thing right now.
Right,
So,
okay.
we're not really holding to an agenda.
Okay.
So the biggest thing we want to do is community outreach and wellness. So there's a health and safety aspect to this. We hope to bring a lot of resources in for the community to have access to. What that looks like is up to the community. If there's something that members of the community feel needs to be there and they want us to try to source that, we will, with no promises. But we want everything from the 513 relief bus there to legal aid to women helping women to American Red Cross. I mean, literally anything you can think of that a resident may need, we want to get there. We also will have some outreach for the kids. We'll have the formerly Cincinnati Circus Company. I'm not sure what they are currently. They're going to donate some inflatables and some water rides and some face painters and all that good stuff. We will have different outlets of food. I mean, this will be a pretty big celebration that should last throughout the day and hopefully conclude with some fireworks.
Nice.
Kind of finalizing that. So it should be a really good time.
So is that the same day as the fall concert?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So you and I were talking earlier, is that a good day to pair it or no? With the cornhole with the kids,
I
because it's just
I
too
would
much
say,
going
yeah,
on?
no, I would say, yeah, absolutely.
So you guys are doing an amazing job if you have all the health and wellness stuff coming.
Well, so we kind of do these, we called them safety days in the past. When we did C75 a few years ago, we brought out a bunch of law enforcement resources. So instead of spreading this out over
Yeah, I
several
like that,
events,
yeah.
maybe if we can have them all day. And my thought process is that we can kind of graduate through. So we have the health and wellness, and we have something for the kiddos, and then we kind of graduate to the adults, and then we end the night back together with the band and the fireworks. That's kind of the mindset there. So we have a little bit of everything for everyone.
Okay.
Good question. Good question.
So just touch base with you about the cornhole.
Yeah.
So literally, I was talking about the cornhole and trying to get the youth connected to the police department, and if we can plan something separate. And he said it's probably better to do it when something's already planned.
Yeah.
And so like at Juneteenth or 4th of July or something, just so the youth can pair with a police officer and they can get to know the youth in the community. And so, so I will try to work on that to connect with you. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any more questions regarding either of those events under new business? Nope. All right, so some of the old business will close out some of, I'll let Dr. Mena go ahead and give us the final, hopefully final. I thought the last one would be the final update, right?
So our postcards finally went out the week of May 19th. The information on the postcards includes village business summer sessions, upcoming recreation programs and events, and a QR code to the Recreation Commission page on the village website. Apparently, there are a few households that have not gotten the postcard. We don't know quite how many. We do have extra postcards, so if you haven't gotten any, then you should reach out. We'll also, I think, have them distributed at the events that are upcoming.
That's great. You have them at the Juneteenth.
Yeah. And even I've thought about it at the parade. If somebody walks, like, if we get a spot in the parade, just, hey, here.
Yeah.
Take a
That'd be
postcard.
great.
I mean, I don't know how useful they'll be by then. It's like all the events will be gone, but still.
So I guess moving forward, we have to figure out whether or not this is a good way to communicate with our community. It's possible that doing a bulk mailing versus doing the EDDM like we did might be better. It's more annoying because you have to get the actual addresses
Right.
for everybody in Gulf Manor, but we might have more luck actually getting it to houses.
That's
that way.
actually a good idea. We thought about that. Like, because somebody has that registry though of the addresses. I just figured the cost was going to be the bigger. It might be almost twice as much. It's not cheap, is it?
Yeah, it'll probably be more cost than just
Yeah.
figuring out the mailing. I think it's more annoying.
All right. And I would have updated these numbers for you, but I didn't have the from last time. So you can either take that out because it's in the last one, or we just update it for this one. So you were able to negotiate a discount?
Yeah, Minuteman gave us I believe it was a 10% discount. I don't remember what.
I have to look that up. Sorry.
But I believe he gave us a 10% discount on the last mailing that we did. And he did say that he suggested some changes moving forward for us to stick to like a more concrete timeline.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think once we see the ripple effect of it, because just there being a lot more vendors at this one, I think that postcard helped. And I think depending on how many people show up, because last year people dwindled in, but I think that the postcard and people getting online and seeing them going to their mailboxes, then they have something. So I say, I'm for the postcard. It may cost a little bit more money, but it's getting more people involved in the community. So I think it'll tell the story once we can count the numbers of people showing up.
Right.
And it may be just worth it because our whole goal is to get people connected in the
Right.
community.
Yeah, I'm a fan of like variety,
Mhm.
but then you got to pay for everything and just
Right.
basically cast a wide enough net to capture everybody. So
Well, the code is telling everybody where, to get online and look at this stuff. So it's actually
Right, that's
it's serving multiple purposes.
Right.
So,
all right, sounds good. All right, any more questions or discussion about the postcards? No? All right, now we can get to you, Ms. Gwen, with the Little Feet Pantry. Now I added some exclamation marks in here because we got really good news. So I'm gonna need you to like read enthusiastically.
Okay, we're gonna see how excited I get.
Yes, ma'am, let's do it.
Okay, council approved on the last meeting that we had the legislation for the Little Free Pantry during our last full council meeting on Monday, May the 19th. We applied for the Hamilton County Public Health Chronic Disease Prevention mini grant fund for the pantries and as encouraged by the We Thrive REACH programs. Within a week, we received the official notice that we were awarded the fund. Well, we received the feedback that our application was strong. The amount of $4,000 that we requested exceeds the maximum amount of $1,000. Did I say that right there? Offering.
Yeah.
They requested that we revise our budget, clarify how many pantries we can build with the new budget, and confirm that we can spend the fund by August 1st. They asked that we resubmit our updated proposal by June 13th. And I would like to thank Brittany Kramer, did I say her name right?
Kramer, yeah.
For writing our winning proposal, and for Eric. Are you
Just
saying your
Eric is
last
fine.
name? Okay, because I did not want to screw your name up.
You're fine.
For reviewing the proposal and submitting it by the deadline. So I'm thankful for that. That's teamwork.
Yes, it is.
And I appreciate it because I didn't have a clue how to do it.
You got a feather in your hat though, so we passed legislation.
Well, it's not by myself.
That's fair.
It took
Well, I mean, We Thrive, kind of
collective
put a
proof.
boot in you and
Yeah, but
Yeah, but that's good. We got it done.
it took more people, so yeah, I appreciate that.
So it has to be done by August. Is there somebody who's gonna build the pantry, or do you have somebody lined up, or?
It's a good question.
So that's all part of this revised budget. They're asking for $1,000. That's, I think, probably assuming that there's a fair amount of volunteer work going on, which we were gonna task this to the service, which, I mean,
All of us get a nail and a hammer and get out there?
all right, so I
It
don't know
might have
how,
to
I don't
turn
know how
into that.
realistic that is.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out that we can actually get the service guys to do it during this time when there's a lot of vacations and there's a lot of outside stuff that they do. I think is part of the revision, but we're gonna try and get that done.
Okay, well, I talked to some carpenters too. I don't know if they'll take it on, but I was downtown at this event, and so I got the carpenter's name. They were looking at me like I had three heads, but I'm like, okay, it's okay if I have three heads. If you guys can make these little pantries, that would be amazing. So
Yeah, I mean, if there's
So
someone
awesome.
who would be willing to donate
Yeah,
their
I
time to put
will.
it together, I think that would be pretty amazing. Because I think the supplies for one is only around $500-600 for all of the materials. And then, it's just a matter of labor, so.
Okay, so we can buy 2 pantries, we can, for the $1,000 and just the
If
materials.
we,
can get free
I
labor.
again, I have to double check the
Okay,
numbers. I have
okay.
to double check the numbers, but I believe it was around $500-600.
Okay.
Which, I mean, $1,000, if it's $600, then it's
Right,
only one.
still
but-
only one. Okay, that's good. So, I don't want to volunteer them, but I might be able to get, Alan and Danny to help, like, they're both on rec, maybe. Because I think the plans are out there, like how to assemble them and all of that stuff. It's just a matter of us just actually having to get the screws and the hammers or whatever, so. But yeah, I'm super excited, because I think the submission was due like June 2nd, and by like Friday, which would have been like June 7th, no. Yeah, something like that.
They
June
done
6th, they
amazing
had
work.
already was like, yeah, you got it. It's like, oh, it didn't even take a week. That's great news. So they were just waiting on us to submit it. So I'm glad to hear about that. So any more discussion about the little free pantries? Okay, we're almost running out of time. So I'll do a quick update on the Juneteenth vendor event. Rec approved all the funding that I requested to support the event, and the banners are up. So you should see those at the village gateways. Beer will be provided by 9 Giant Gourmet. Hot dogs will be served by Tiny Bistro. I thought Rec was going to be able to sell pizza as a fundraiser. We're still coordinating with Goodfellas, but I haven't been able to really get replies back from them yet. But literally today, another food vendor, it's a truck. They do like fried fish and hamburgers and stuff like that. Like called me today, like, "Hey, you still on?" I was like, "Yes." So we'll see about Goodfellas, and we could just maybe do much less pizza or something like that. It's just still an opportunity for us to fundraise. The police department, CIT, what is that, the community impact team, I think they'll be making what I'm calling their debut, so they'll be helping and showing up at the event. I forgot to kind of write that down, but when Reed came in, I said, oh, I should have added that. We're still selling Juneteenth t-shirts, $22 for adults, $18 for youth, and we've sold like 12, I think 12 or 13 shirts. So including, at this point, we have at least 26 vendors registered, like at least 2 called me today, received payments from 23 of them, along with the shirts that we sold, the 3 prize shirts, all of that. We've raised $933 minus fees, so we're hovering just under $900 that we've collected in Square. But every morning I wake up with a text message from them saying, you got more money in the bank, so. All right, and finally, the big update about the app. Yay. So the Village app has become a recent topic of conversation, particularly since the village was billed I added an extra zero on there, $6,500 for an annual maintenance fee by the developer, seemingly unexpectedly. So supposedly the previous council, with recommendation from the administration, voted for the app with the understanding that the cost was only that initial $20,000 to develop it, meaning no annual maintenance fee thereafter. So now it's up to us, the current council, to decide if we want to continue to fund the app and pay for this annual maintenance fee. So last I heard, I think it was during finance, they asked administration, hey, talk to developers, see if they'll waive their fee for a year while we figure things out. To my knowledge, we have not heard from the developers, correct?
My understanding is that they said they're unable to do that, but maybe I misunderstood that.
Okay, that's fine. So as of now, we will not be paying to maintain the app. Okay, so how does this relate to community engagement? So we are responsible for leading the effort for redesigning or redeveloping the website, but these are very integrated. So I've been gathering information related to the app. So here's what I've learned thus far. So the narrative isn't quite right. We did not pay $20,000 to develop the app. We paid $8,000 to develop the app and prepaid $12,000 for the 2 years of maintenance. So specifically, we paid $3,995 for iOS, so basically $4,000 for one operating system, and another $3,995. Okay, for the Android operating system, $6,500 for 1 year maintenance, and $6,500 with a 5% discount, which comes up to like $6,175 for a second year of maintenance, and that was a total of $20,665. So it was actually closer to $21,000. And in that same contract, yes, we did agree to pay $6,500 per year thereafter. So given that this has been the third year, now we are billed. So the signed contract, I'm asking them to put it online as public record. So that's where those figures come from, and that is why we gotten charged again. So as of May 13th of this year, we have 101 iOS users and 55 Android users who have downloaded the app. No clue how often they open the app, if they still have the app on their phones, so we just know how many people have donated it since that contract was signed in April 22, and that was 156 users. I've also learned kind of technologically, this app is what we call a wrapper app, and that's to distinguish it from a native app. So a wrapper app is essentially a website wrapped in a native wrapper, okay? So wrapper apps are supposed to be way cheaper to develop and way cheaper to maintain. And in theory, when you update the contents on the website, the app automatically updates. Okay, so most modern wrap apps can also send push notifications. So I am still a proponent of a wrapper app, whether it's still this app or not. I've attached links related to describing what wrapper apps. This one's by Mobilal, whoever that is. That's not an endorsement of Mobilal. I don't know anything about them, but that provides you information on what it means to be a wrapper app versus a native app. And then there are also other alternatives to our current app. Again, these the same Mobilal, whoever that is, they have another link. So 10 ways to convert. So there's definitely a bunch of options. Based on what I think I know now, the last option, option 10, is called a progressive web app plus wrapper. And I think that's kind of free. That's where I think we should go. But regardless, if we continue to wrapper app, which is what I recommend based on what I think I know, we will have to still redevelop the website and make it more responsive. So that means that the layouts and the elements adjust to fit various screen sizes, resolutions. So whether you're on a desktop, a tablet, or your phone, it looks good. And so when you're on your app and you open it up, it's basically going to open up the mobile version. So it needs to be responsive so that the app works. Now, if we go with somebody other than this current developer, we will have to get a separate service that sends push notifications, such as OneSignal. Again, it's not an endorsement. I don't know anything about them, although they were kind of recommended. So lots of good news and lots of bad news. Technically, we did not spend $20,000 on the app. We spent $8,000 on the app. And it being a wrap app, if we were to update that website, in theory, this app should update with it. So it sounds like I think we can just suspend it. So we're not paying $6,500. And then when we go and redevelop a new website, either they can do a new app and we do this, progressive web app option and do a push notification service, or start paying $6,500 again and just let them just update what's the contents in that wrapper. So I don't know how much anything costs. This has just been month one. So that's kind of our next steps when we decide what we want to do with the website and all that stuff.
How much benefit is the community actually getting from that website?
And that's actually a good question. So Dr. Manor she's kind of got a draft already of some community engagement questions, and she's going to lead the effort. We're going to set up a mini committee and figure out what is the best way y'all like to communicate. Is it the website /app? How often do you watch our feeds? Do you watch them live? Do you watch recordings? So that helps us when we decide what AV equipment we want. Or do you like the postcards? So she has a list of already questions that she's kind of prepared and been brainstorming. So I guess within I'm swamped now until Juneteenth. But we'll start that maybe as soon as July.
That's a lot of money, $6,500. It's a lot.
Yeah.
456 people, and Gulf Manor has how many people? Like 5,000? I
I
don't know.
don't think it's
but
quite that many, but this ain't, yeah.
That's a lot of money for 456 people to be getting on and watching.
Yeah. And we don't even know if they're watching.
Right, we just know they have it.
They had it at one point. So do you have anything else you want to add, Dr. Mena?
No, I mean, we were talking about the mini committee, like a focus group.
Yeah.
To sort of lead the effort in redevelopment, but I think before that, I'd love to just try and send out a survey to as many people in Gulf Manor as possible to just try and get as much feedback as we can.
That's a great idea. I'm glad you went down that rabbit hole because I would like to revisit the survey that Brian did when he was here because it was a part of the community engagement, and this can kind of be connected with that, like a part of it, maybe a part of it. I don't want it to consume because it's important, $6,500. But I would like to revisit the survey and see exactly what people still want
Yeah.
and how many of those goals we've actually met and how many we haven't, or even if they're realistic. So I would really like to, and I know, like you're saying, it's a lot on our plate for 2025, but I think we need to get back to that. And I might even try to put together a survey really quickly for Juneteenth. And just have people like check in when they come in. Probably not, I can remember the way Brian and his wife did it. I may not do it that way, but if it's the most realistic way and the best way to collect information, then I'll have something to bring back when we come back to our meeting in July.
It's a good idea to do it at these community events and even.
So if you just tell me how to word it,
She already got something.
Yeah, I can.
yeah, if I can word it, then I can add it on, not to take away from yours, but just,
So didn't Bryant do it on a Google form? I remember having a.
he did,
Yeah.
But he also had like a poster board at the event and people had
walked in,
stickers.
so I'll
Yeah.
probably do something like that, because that'd be quick and fast, I can write it up
And we are pushing time. I hate to cut the conversation,
Oh, no,
but
no.
we got a lot going on in
I know, I
executive.
got
So
And I
let me,
have one question.
yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Before you, so the Labor Day event.
Yeah.
Where is that funding coming from? Because we have a band now.
yes, so I don't know who's paying for the band. So that conversation needs to happen in rec. So when they made the decision to change, I did ask, say, is rec supposed to be paying for this? I don't even think rec has enough in their account to even cover the band alone.
Who
So
secured the man?
your administrator secured the band.
Well, maybe he's paying out of pocket.
I mean, he has money he can spend, but the question is out of what pot?
Right, yeah, because he didn't come to rec to get it approved, so.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, because you were in rec, so he mentioned
Absolutely.
it in rec, but yeah, I don't know the
Okay.
answer to that
He
question.
might have private pay, okay,
Yeah.
is this the?
You gotta hold on, give me a second. So Juneteenth is still Friday. Pride Walk is Saturday, June 28th. Meet at Fountain Square at 11. 4th of July Parade and Picnic, that's still Sunday, June 29th. Again, the Labor Day cookout is canceled, but instead we have the fall concert coming back, and that is on Sunday, September 7th at Volunteer Park. May I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
And everybody in favor?
Aye.
All right, I guess motion's adjourned at 6:31. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Took us 30 minutes to get through all of that.
A lot of